Hello again. My name is Dr. Ruth Zeman, positive psychologist, and let's talk about engagement. Engagement is the E in Perma. Perma was P-E-R-M-A. Engagement means you're so excited and so fully involved in something you lose time. Do you have this in your life? I've been thinking about this for myself. So I recently finished graduate school and got my PhD in May, which is woohoo, so exciting. And one of the things that I really love about being in school was the opportunity to dive into a topic and just like hyper fixate on it. And this is something that people with ADHD are now we're experts at. We flip from thing to thing and we dive in deep, and this is something that just comes naturally. We desire to do it. I absolutely have enjoyed immensely diving into gratitude, diving into why we journal, diving into why we need to study happiness. It's amazing. People don't really understand the ingredients of what it takes to be happy. And that's what Perma is all about. So Perma, to review really quick, was positive emotions, engagement, relationship, meaning, and accomplishments. And once we set our meaning, and I shared that mine was love others and myself, and I started learning that I needed to love myself better. When I get engaged, let's go with journaling. I love to journal. I started back in 2017, but that's kind of silly to say because my mom started buying me journals when I was a kid, and she made me read journals as a kid, and she was all about journals, and she was an English major, and I was homeschooled as a kid, and so I had to. I hated every minute of it. I dreaded journaling, and I didn't know what to say. So oftentimes I would have to sit at the table and I'd be like, I had a grilled cheese sandwich today. And that's kind of funny because also when I would mail letters back and forth with my grandfather, because this was the 80s and this is how you stayed in touch with people who lived far away. All of his responses were his meals for the week, because he didn't know what to say to a young woman either. And I didn't know what to write to him. And I have definitely dived in and grown. So I get engaged in journaling, and I get engaged in reading about journaling, and I get engaged in reading other people's journals, and I lose time and I get excited. And here are some of the things I know. Journaling is absolutely magic because it connects the kinetics and the memory of our body with the logic of our brains, bringing us this full present moment embodiment that you keep hearing from everybody. And it allows you to curate your life, but it also allows you, I am a verbal processor, so a lot of times I'll say things out loud and I don't know where we're going until I finish my sentence, which is awesome. And this is a normal thing that a lot of people do. It's called verbal processing. And I sat down here and I'm telling you about engagement. We're also talking about journaling, and I use journaling to verbally process as well. So if I have a question and I don't necessarily want to share it with anyone, I will write it down. And it's interesting because this magical thing happens because it tucks into my subconscious. And we have studies that show that this is, in fact, what it does. And it allows me to connect to the greater higher thinking that is the collective unconscious. And when I sit down in the evening to finish journaling, because I do it in Google Docs and I do it by date, and I have them tagged with keywords so I can find them later, and I'm essentially stewing. I'm putting something on the back burner of the stove and letting it just cook. And then when I sit down again, I frequently have the answers I was looking for, which is astonishing. And when I'm talking just to myself, I don't have to worry about how will I be received, because I know my heart and I'm not questioning my motives. And so it actually removes a lot of layers of conversation when you're with someone else and any judgment or anything that would come up. Now, caveat, even though we're speaking to our higher conscious selves, we are kind of limited and we don't always get larger answers that we could get from other people. So sometimes my answer is just, you need to start talking to people about this. which is also incredible. And you have just experienced with me being fully engaged. I could dive into this topic. I could talk about it for hours. I adore journaling. I enjoy activities where I am just immersed and I get to learn. And that's my personality. Now, what does this look like for someone who's an athlete? It looks like wanting to go out and play and move their bodies. It looks like yoga instructors who adore doing it and they get lost in their breath work. It looks like, and I keep mentioning this missed time and lost, it's because you're fully present. Do you have engagement in your life? Do you have a moment somewhere where an activity or an experience or something that you consistently do has you completely and utterly engaged? Because this is necessary to feel happy and successful. And it's interesting to note that it must attach to the meaning in your life. So for me, am I loving others and I love myself? That's journaling, that's cooking, that's going out and talking to people, that's making these little videos. All of it fits together. And then it's relational because I'm going to be sharing these videos. I'm torturing all my friends and making them watch them, and I'm hoping to find more friends who want to watch them. And right now I'm just talking about the science because I am terrified of video and I'm getting used to it, and I talk too fast and blah, 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 blah. I am a crazy person and I know it. I am a delightful crazy person and I'm happy you're here. So thank you for listening. Drop me a like and follow along and subscribe, and we'll get there. And I hope you have something that you are completely engaged in, and I would love to hear about it. So, engagement, part of Perma. I hope you have it. We'll talk more later.